So I think that some of y'all are really angry that LGBT people at Pride will not sacrifice their self-expression in order to make your hetero buddies or their hetero world feel catered to, and that's your fucking problem, not ours.
Don't play with me, ho. Go play in some traffic. Don't play with me, ho. This shit gon' get graphic. They say that I'm the pathetic.
So to me, it seems like every single year when Pride Month comes around, we always have these fucking debates about whether or not kink and all that shit should be allowed at Pride. And I think, first of all, before I get to dragging the entire shit out you bitches, I think, first of all, that is such an ignorant statement, especially considering the history of Pride, especially considering the whole point of Pride, in my opinion, which is to raise awareness, of course, reduce the cultural shaming that's around almost every fucking thing that we do. You know, and so to sit here and act like these communities like kink and all that shit, BDSM, all that shit, it has not been an integral part of Pride. Every single year they have these debates about keeping Pride respectable and all this shit. And it's just like, first of all, respectable to who? Second of all, LGBT people have to navigate this society with like this sense of code switching, and sometimes like they have to do this respectability facade in order to get jobs. Sometimes they have to do this shit in order to get housing. Sometimes they have to do this shit in every part of society. And you mean to tell me the one month, the one time, the one event that we can just express our fucking selves, that we can wear what the fuck we want to wear, and we have to now adhere to and adapt the same fucking rules that we're running from? What the fuck are y'all talking about? You know, I wish that people would just be honest and say, because I feel like it's two types of people who I'm really annoyed at. The first type is the LGBT person who thinks that, oh girl, even though, like I said, this has been a historic part of our Pride, that it should not be included. And I do feel like sometimes some of those people I wish they would just say what they mean. I feel like some of those people think that the straight community, the world in general, already thinks that LGBT people are perverts. So it's like, why would you come out here doing the same? Why would you come out here dressed up like that and all this shit? We have to keep it respectable. I think that's the first type of person. The second type of person that annoys the shit out of me is the straight motherfuckers who come to Pride, and you know what I mean? The wasp ass parents who come to Pride or who want to come to Pride and just like, oh my God, it's too much. And then they look at that part of Pride, they look at that and then just like, oh yeah, they are perverts. Everybody there is fucked up in the head, they're twisted. And that's why I don't go there. And then they bring the kids into it, especially. That's why I don't take my kids there. Man, first of all, no, you don't. You don't take your kids there, you don't go there because you motherfucking homophobic. That's the first thing. The second thing is that what about the children argument has always been levied against the LGBT community. I remember when I was in high school, I think around those years, around that time, I remember how the topic of gay teachers, especially like gay male teachers, being in the classroom, I remember how that topic made people clutch their pearls. I remember how people were raising their eyebrows at a gay man teaching their fucking kids and not paying any attention to anything else. You know what I mean? Not his education, not his skills as a teacher. It's just the fact that he was gay. You know, teaching their kids. Meanwhile, who they really need to be worried about around their kids is them pastors, is them pastors, and it's those family members that they keep bringing around for family reunion, everybody acting like nothing's going on. Like, y'all have bigger fish to motherfucking fry, right? So it has been extremely dangerous, and I feel like people know exactly what they're doing when they're saying like, oh my God, but what about the kids? The kids. Y'all are being sexual in front of kids. Y'all trying to be sexual. What is that? Because I feel like a lot of them don't even know what the fuck kink is. The people who be complaining anyway, a lot of them are complaining, especially if they see men doing this shit. A lot of them are complaining because people are walking around in leather fucking straps and leather jock straps and shit. They just walking around. They got studded shit all over. Like, girl, they're getting there a lot. And I think a lot of the skimpy ass outfits and the slutty ass outfits, they don't know how to deal with it. They can't deal with it. And what about the kids? Meanwhile, they take their kids to every fucking water park on the fucking planet. They take their kids to every beach on the fucking, in the universe, bitch. You know what I mean? And they don't think twice about that shit. Nobody tells people to put on their fucking clothes and stop acting crazy during Mardi Gras. A lot of times these kinds of conversations do not happen at all in Carnival when these girls got everything, half skimpy ass outfits. Nobody talks about those things. But a lot of times they want to focus on that shit and bring the kids up and all this type of shit when it comes to the LGBT community. I think that there is nobody more obsessed with how LGBT people have sex than straight people. And it's like they're just like, the brain malfunctions because they can't think of us in any other aspect, any other way. Like I said, that's why I brought up the gay teacher, because like, why the fuck are y'all pressed They assign anything that is reprehensible, that is extremely sexually disgusting to gay people to LGBT people without even knowing a goddamn thing about them, right? So now we're supposed to, act like we give a fuck about these what about the children ass arguments when these bitches with platforms have not been saying anything about children for the entire year up until fucking June. You bitches don't advocate for no kids. You bitches don't care about kids. But you use them disingenuously in these fucking arguments as if LGBT youth groups don't exist if you're that really fucking pressed. As if these kid LGBT groups don't exist across the entire country. You are bringing them up disingenuously, and I think that shit is really fucked up. Because if you actually cared about the kids, you would know that there are many organizations, many groups for the youth, for the kids. I hate it when people act like the entire LGBT community comes from across the entire planet and comes to Atlanta to fuck in the middle of the streets in the middle of the daytime. You bitches don't think, because a lot of the sexual activity and shit goes on in the bars and shit, in the dark rooms and shit. Y'all don't actually give a fuck. Y'all don't actually do the research. Y'all don't know what kink is. Y'all don't actually care to learn something. Y'all don't actually care about the kids that y'all using, that y'all lobbing these arguments. Y'all think of the entire LGBT community as the deviant, sexual deviants who want to tear down society. Meanwhile, that's why y'all are pressed. And I promise you that if you don't want to see that shit, stay your ass the fuck at home. Like I said previously, the entire LGBT community has to navigate society based off of y'all rules, okay? And I feel like it is almost, maybe it feels insulting to people who feel like, okay, bitch, we should dominate the entire planet, we should dominate entire society. What the fuck is going on in Pride? Maybe that's what makes y'all feel insecure and uncomfortable, but I want y'all to get used to that fucking feeling, because that's the whole point of Pride, bitch. What are you talking about? That kid shit really fucks me up. That kid shit really annoys the shit out of me, because y'all don't care about the kids. And y'all try to fashion these arguments in a way that makes it seem like, we're trying to take advantage or trying to do something, sick and fucking twisted, when y'all operate in y'all adult lives in the same way that LGBT people do. That's why I brought up Mardi Gras and fucking Carnival. Y'all have these festivals as well, bitch, but nobody lobs the kids at y'all, because that shit would be stupid as fuck, wouldn't it? Yeah, what about the kids? But Carnival, everybody's showing so much body, but you don't think of kids, y'all are sick, it's fucking Carnival. If you know what Pride is, if you know what it always has been historically, if you know what it's trying to accomplish and you don't like that shit, then just stay the fuck home. Stay the fuck home. Like I said it before, we already have to warp ourselves into a version of ourselves that can receive resources from this fucking straight ass world that we live in. We don't have to do that shit at Pride for you bitches to feel comfortable. Shut the fuck up. I'll end it with this. Like I said, I think there's so many factors that contribute to this, but I think it's important to talk about, because the entire point of Pride was to get rid of bullshit like this. Like, that's the entire point of Pride, and if it's shaking y'all the fuck up, then that's what it's supposed to do. I think that, like I said, just reviewing, I think that a lot of straight people, they have an obsession with how LGBT people have sex. I also think that they don't want to or try to learn anything else about us other than that. I think that the same kinds of concepts and ideas that are contributing to y'all saying these kinds of things are the entire point, the entire reason that Pride was created in the first place. I think that y'all are being disingenuous when y'all tossing kids into the argument as if y'all don't act up in the streets as well. I think that if y'all actually went to a fucking Pride parade and y'all saw what the fuck was going on, you would stop acting like they're shooting fucking porn underneath the fucking stoplight. Like, I've seen worse shit go on in New Orleans, ho. Then fucking a Pride parade with floats and shit and arts and crafts and shit, bitches painting faces and shit. Like, y'all, it's just disingenuous. It's fucked up, but it makes so much sense that y'all would think these kinds of things based off of how you view LGBT people. And I just want y'all to know that the whole purpose of Pride is to come in here and decimate your fucked up ideas, your archaic ass ideas. I mean, for example, y'all have been shoving, I always bring this example up, heterosexuality has been shoved down my fucking face since I was a child. I've been seeing hetero couples eat each other's fucking faces since I was conscious. And I mean, y'all act like if these kids see two men kissing at fucking Pride, that is going to destroy their minds or something, Or, bitch, if I was a kid and I seen some motherfucker in Kink, I would think their ass is in a superhero outfit or some shit. But yeah, I can only imagine somebody who's much older than me who had to experience a time period in this country where sex felt like a looming death sentence in a lot of cases, especially because they had not developed the medical technology necessary. I can only imagine how freeing it must be for someone who grew up during that time frame to express their sexuality now, to dress how they want to dress, to just live out the fuck loud, especially during Pride Month. I can only imagine how freeing that shit could be. But instead we have people acting like a couple leather fucking jock straps are going to destroy the world, the planet. Y'all need to grow the fuck up. That's it. On that note, make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.
Baby, shake it fast. Now I ain't got no class. Bitch, I'm trash. If this camera flash, you still gon' let me smash. Give me that leg, baby, make me swear. I got no respect. I forget what your name is, but just come give me that wet, give me that. I need that.